President Kennedy died 50 years ago today, and a lot has been made about his administration and the promise that it created. But what you probably don't know is that JFK visited Bakersfield in 1960. Take a look.
The year was 1960, and then Senator John F. Kennedy was running for the presidency.
Announcing my candidacy.
A new kind of leader, glamorous, young, Harvard-educated, a war hero. He had an everyman quality about him. He was relatable. That fall, Senator Kennedy delivered a speech at Bakersfield Airport. About 300 people greeted the senator as his campaign plane, the Caroline, named for his daughter, arrived.
It was our old airport.
Local attorney Milt Younger was there that day. He was 31 years old.
He was magnificent. He spoke in tones that commanded our attention. He spoke about not only what could be done in the United States, but how we would be leaders of the world.
Kennedy spoke about the new frontier. He talked about the needs of residents in the valley. The population in Bakersfield was just 56,000 in 1960.
You know, we were very flattered that he chose to speak to us.
Did you shake hands or?
Not with me.
For a new generation of leadership.
And Kennedy had not planned to speak, but as his plane was being refueled, the crowd urged him on, and he did not disappoint. He delivered a 10-minute speech, off the cuff. Kennedy would go on to lose the state of California and its 32 electoral votes.
John Fitzgerald Kennedy.
But he would go on to win a tight election, barely beating Richard Nixon. And over the course of the ensuing 1,000 days, Jack, Jackie, Caroline, and John would change politics forever and usher in an era that, for many Americans, ended on November 22nd, 1963.
President Kennedy and Governor John Connally have been cut down by assassins' bullets in downtown Dallas.
The day a sniper's bullet cut short a life, an administration, and the promise of what could have been.
Just amazing, and that's an important thing to remember today, not so much focusing on, Lee Harvey Oswald and the assassination itself, but really what that meant for our nation and the world, how things changed and what might have been, would have Vietnam, would that have happened, would Nixon have been elected, then Watergate, then Ford, then Jimmy Carter. It's interesting to see how the butterfly effect can take place, and this is a real example of that.
Absolutely, affected the world, of course, but I mean, all these assassinations, anytime someone is killed, we do want to focus on the person who has died or the people who have died, as opposed to the shooter or whoever killed that person.
Yep.
So, really nice job with that piece, by the way. So a recent Gallup poll shows 61% of Americans believe Lee Harvey Oswald did not act alone, and we want to know what you think.
That's right. We posted the question on Facebook this morning. Do you think Oswald acted alone? And here are some of your answers. Karen says, no, I think Jack Ruby proved someone else was behind it.
Orlando says most people now can't answer that question. They probably don't even know who Lee Harvey Oswald or Jack Ruby is.
Hillary says Oswald was the lone actor. There are a lot of interesting theories, but I'm not buying the Cuban or mafia connections.
And Jack